Thanks for staying with us. With us on the show, still talking on the suspension of democracy in Rivers State for 6 months, joining us to share his own perspective, because everybody has a perspective on this matter. So we have with us Honorable Lazarus Nteogwuile, and he was the elected chairman of Andoni local government area from October 2024 to February 2025 by the government of the current governor, Simi Fubara, before his suspension. So he will be telling us his own perspective as a party man and as a friend of the governor. You can join the show, you can join the conversation on 0201635 2013 and 09024163440. You can also send us messages on tweet, on X, and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Welcome to the show, sir. Honorable Lazarus. Good to have you.
Good morning.
We've heard so many versions of people's perspective as regards the suspension of the governor, the declaring of the state of emergency. We had a guest yesterday on the show, 2 days ago, on Monday, who said the person that benefited the most from this state of emergency is the governor, because he would have been impeached and then things would have really fallen apart for the state. Do you agree with that perspective?
Well, everybody has their own opinion.
Okay.
And as a Nigerian, an abiding law citizen of Nigeria, we know that we have a law that governs a state.
Okay.
And of course, we know when we are talking about impeachment, impeachment does not start from assembly and end with assembly. It has a process. So the benefit the person is talking about is what I don't understand. Maybe a day will come, he will clarify us what benefits the governor has benefited. To the best of our knowledge, our governor is doing well. He's a man loved by Rivers people. If you go to Rivers State today, people are still crying for what is happening to him. Because it's not what we expect. A man that has a clear, good intention about his people. Somebody will just come and say, because he wants to control the treasury of Rivers State. That's just the Ibuna contention, nothing than that. You are all aware, or if you're not aware, let me tell you now, that before 2023, what the former governor was declaring as our IGRO was between 6 to 12 billion every month. Let me inform you today that what Similar Former declared after his exit, that the former governor, was between 22 to 27 billion. Okay. So you ask, what's the magic? Yeah. That's to tell you that the money had been there, but somebody, because you are in charge, and nobody talks to you, nobody challenges you, you feel you are a demigod. But we let go, and the state was moving on. If you go to Rivers State today, it's very peaceful. When you say that a place is not peaceful, if you go to a place like Bedugri, because people are fighting there. For instance, Osun State, what's happening there? People are, the law has been broken down. People are destroying buildings, but nothing of such in Port Harcourt. So that will tell you that what is happening is people that want to own the state to themselves because of 2027.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So what's your take on godfatherism? Because people have fingered the whole biting the hands that have fed you, going against the person that put you there, and the whole. What's your take on godfatherism in Rivers State?
I don't understand what people say godfatherism. Of course, the man that told about is a godfather was preaching against it. When Ambode and Tinubu was having problem, what did he say? He came on air and said that Ambode should resist it. What about Oshomole? So you see a man speaking one mouth and passing from the other mouth. When you are a man of integrity, you speak a thing and keep to what you have spoken out. But in the case of Rivers State, it's not like that. You see people come with diverse, try to deviate people's attention for what the real thing is. One thing I know, one day, the truth of this matter will surely come out.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, at least your governor, they said he brought down the State House of Assembly. He said he demolished it and that he was angry over something. Or so are you saying that what he did is okay? You think it's okay? What's your take?
People will say what they don't know. Okay. When the former governor was commissioning the speaker's residence, he made mention that the assembly complex had failed integrity tests. That soonest they would attend to it. And of course, you know, that building caught up with fire outbreak. On that note, the government decided to pull it down and re-erect it. As I speak today, that building is about 80% completion.
Okay, there was something you said earlier, before I come to Mariam, concerning the revenue, because there's a position that all states have increased revenue across board since subsidy was removed. So when you say somebody had 12 billion before, was declaring only 12 billion, and now another person is declaring possibly 27, people say, well, all the states generally had more money to declare.
That had been. It had been.
Before the subsidy removal?
Yes, it has been.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Yes.
Mariam, come here.
So, you know, you're giving a lot of your opinion, you know, and allegedly you're claiming IGR revenue that looked like it was taken away or hidden, and the current governor is able to reveal it. As far as we know, we've talked about godfatherism. As far as we know, Fubara was brought on as a result of a relationship that he had with the previous governor.
Nobody is disputing that.
Okay, and we feel if he must have been in the know somewhat of what was happening with the former governor. So what could have happened in between the period that all of a sudden he's turning his back on the person that brought him? I personally am not for godfatherism or whatever. I'm really concerned about the people of the state. What could have happened where it looked like a smooth transition from one administration to the other that would have helped the state further? All of a sudden, it turned around. What is the problem? Is it politics or is it ego? What's happened?
Well, for that, I can't really say. Because the both of them know how they started. But our concern, just like said, is Rivers people.
Yeah.
And the mantra of the governor is Rivers first. And that's why it's consolidating, to ensure that every Rivers man, every Rivers woman is enjoying the dividends of democracy. Let me shock you. For over 16 years before Fubara came on board, civil servants were not promoted. They were on the same salary.
He was on the government now. He was there. He's part of the government. So
it's not something they can do. Somebody has to, he works on directive. When you're the chief executive, you direct, do this, don't do this. Are you getting me? It's just like the way you are here. If your manager didn't say, will you do it? You can't do it.
No, I have a job description. I work according to my job description.
Good.
Not based on what.
But you have to direct. You cannot on your own. That's because you have a job description, you want to do it. No. There could be some other things you want you to do first before your job. True or false?
There's a basic, fundamental 1.100 question. What was so hard with the governor complying with the terms of what the House of Assembly was asking for? That was like really basic.
What were they asking for?
The terms of it. I have to go. I'm told that we have to learn off right now. I'm told that our channel. I'm sorry. Let me just give you 1 second. I've been told that we have the Free to Shine triple elimination campaign of HIV/AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis amongst women on the South Zone, and we'll be cutting off right now with the Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Her Excellency, the First Lady of Nigeria, is there, and they'll be kicking off their indulgences. So we'll be linking up to that story. And then for those of you who are watching us, you can also continue watching us on YouTube. You can also watch us on the terrestrial channels on GoTV and StarTimes. We'll be happy to have you join us there. Yes. Okay. So going back to the question, because the bottom line where Nigerians were saying is that what was so difficult in agreeing...
Presenting the budget.
Yes, as was requested.
I am surprised that people are saying this.
It's a question. We're asking you so because we want enlightened.
Because I feel you know that.
Yes, I know, but I want you to explain.
That there was a day the governor wrote to them that he was going to present budget after the Supreme Court judgment. He went. He was locked out.
Okay.
He first of all invited for a meeting.
Yeah.
Nobody turned up. He went again. Several text messages, right up. In fact, it was supposed to be to represent the budget on the 19th, which is Wednesday. On Tuesday, it was suspended. So you can see that was a calculated attempt.
Okay. So you were the local government chairman for some months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Within this period, you talked about paying salaries on time. What were you able to achieve as a local government chairman at that period? Were you able to do anything at all?
Sure.
Okay.
When we were sworn in, our dear governor gave us a marching order that we should go and do things that will touch the lives of our constituents. For me, I move on. I initiate some projects. I built 2 health centers, completed, furnished, and commissioned.
Within this 4 months?
Yes, I built a primary school, 6 classroom blocks, with assembly hall, with teachers' room, headmaster's office, with 7 public covenants.
6 months.
I started it, finished it, furnished, and commissioned. I gave a community called Bomu a water project. I gave the power solar water that they are benefiting today as I speak.
No.
There was a building that my former chairman, when I was a councillor, initiated 15 years ago to house senior civil servants of the council. It was abandoned. I came, I completed it, I commissioned it. I opened roads from Unyada, again, it's a link road. I opened it. In fact, that I've been awarded before my exit from office. I opened road from Ebukuma, Okolile, Otaka Bulama.
What happened that your tenure was so short? What happened?
Supreme Court said that the election was not properly done, that we didn't follow the election guidelines.
Yeah.
I get it. So, by the Supreme Court ruling, our governor called us and said we should step aside. If you are to be a governor that does not love the state, that could have caused a chaos in the state, because Supreme Court knows they don't have jurisdiction over a local government affairs.
Supreme Court?
Yes, they don't.
I could have, when I was in politics 101 tells you that the Supreme Court is the Supreme
The
Court.
Supreme Court.
So regardless,
Wait, that's Supreme or not
everybody should be
Supreme?
under them.
Okay, for instance, the governor's election ends in appeal. Assembly elections, even Senate ends in appeal. They don't go to Supreme Court. It's only governor and president get appeal. So if governor and president get to appeal, senator, House of Assembly ends in appeal, what happened to state election?
Okay, so clearly I can see that you are not okay with the suspension. Are you okay with the suspension?
I can't be okay.
So let me ask this question.
Right.
Like, so how the governor, how is he supposed to continue, knowing fully well that 27 of his lawmakers and they are not cooperating with him? How is he supposed to, how will they have continued governing the state without?
Let me add to that question, because the fear was that because those 27 lawmakers were not in support of it, impeachment was imminent. And there was an imminent threat after that had happened. So that's the question, like, okay, so how would it have played out?
Continued?
Well, just like I said earlier, I said impeachment does not start from assembly and ends with the assembly.
Yeah.
It has a process.
Yeah.
What's the process? If they come up with a notice, the chief judge of the state will set a committee, a panel, that will look at the allegation. Of course, the governor will be given an opportunity to defend himself.
Yeah.
So if at the end of the day, is found wanting, good. But to the best of my knowledge, our governor cannot be found wanting in all those allegations. Because the 27 members, you know, that on a day in assembly, they read their defection letter and defected.
Yes.
If Nigeria is not the kind of country we find ourselves, by the Constitution and the Electoral Act, as soon as you mention that you are defected, that your seat is automatically vacant. But because Nigeria is a place that's called black, white, that is why we are seeing all this drama going on, because of one man.
Okay. Mariam.
Yeah, so for the people of the state, we have, this is where they have found themselves now, the state of emergency, and they have to carry on their life and their businesses in this new climate. What would you say what would you say, to the new
Administrator.
sorry, the
Administrator,
yes,
the sole administrator.
the sole administrator. What would you say to him concerning the people of Rivers
What
State?
I want to say.
What are they expecting? Sorry, I just want to give a little context. I saw a video of people crying and being unhappy, especially because there was military presence and things like that. How do you think he can carry on during this period, however short or long it may be, so that it gives the people of Rivers State some sort of peace?
For that, I don't know. Before he came, he must have his own plan, how he's going to work it out. Because as I speak to you, just like I say, I saw people crying. People are actually crying. Because local government staff have not been paid till today. Even the man came on air to say that the allocation has been released. So if allocation has been released, what is delaying it till now? So you can see that there are some gimmicks people are playing around. If not, how can the administrator come on air to say that allocation has been released, that he has directed that salaries should be paid since last week till today? Nothing about that has happened. So that will inform you very well that the case of Rivers State is not ordinary.
Okay, so being one of the players so far, what do you think could have been done differently to avoid this particular quagmire?
I think what I feel that could have been done differently is for every party to be objective. Not allow intruder to come in, because what is giving this role is because an intruder has come in to support one side.
The president is the intruder.
Intruder.
Okay, yeah.
I don't mention anybody.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand who the intruder is.
I
Is it the
guess
Supreme Court? Is it the president? Who exactly?
Supreme Court, of course.
Okay, just checking.
I guess me. Supreme Court is, of course. Okay. Because if Supreme Court had done the right thing, all these things were...
Your governor said that we would uphold what from Supreme. He was in support.
What do you expect him to say?
Yeah, so, okay.
Because he's a law-abiding citizen. So whatever he was told is also what he's about to do before this saga.
How is it? So there was another issue of, as we know, we've heard the stories of the bombing of pipelines, the pipeline explosion, and an attempted one today we read in the papers. So these are some of the things that concerns Nigeria.
No, see, let me tell you. Even the managers of that pipeline, they came on air to say that it was not done by anybody. You know, when pipeline are stayed for ages, on their own they can blow off. So if the managers of the property has come to say that this thing was not human, so what do you expect? All those things is like trying to rope somebody into what you don't know. That's exactly what is playing out in Rivers State.
So how is the governor? I have to go on a break. Because I wanted to find if I can come back. Because how is the governor doing?
Oh, he's fine.
Okay, let me give you a second. I think I can come back to you to conclude. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest, Honorable Lazarus, in the building, and I was asking for the break that how is he doing? I saw he went to church on Sunday. He seems to be relaxed. He's been suspension. Is he what is he doing? Have you spoken to him? And what is his mood like?
It's very fine, even stronger and better than before.
Okay. Yeah. And does he have any plans to try to? I don't want to use the word. Maybe go
fight for
talk
his
to the parties, to all the parties involved, go to Abuja, reconcile, travel to Abuja, go and see a few people. Do you think he has
appropriate time? The issue will settle itself.
Okay, so politics is a game. Will you say that Governor Fubara didn't see this coming? Are you going to say that he didn't see this coming? And will you say that he played politics well? Do you think he played politics very well?
Well, everybody has their own style of politics. Some play with violence, and are going to play with a peaceful manner. Jesus. So for us, in as much as it's giving us, Rivers people, the dividend of democracy, we are good with him. Because if not a man like Fubara, believe you me, by now, Rivers State will have flown into crisis. But because of his peaceful disposition, he will tell his supporters, and they obey. Because it's a man that operates an open door policy. It's a man that you can assess anytime you want to assess him. So that's why we're enjoying peace in Rivers State.
What role do traditional heads play in the politics of Rivers State, especially when it comes to
They
reconciliation
play
and moving things
adversary
forward?
role.
Okay.
And the treasurer have tried to advise both parties.
Okay, advisory. I thought it was
Advisory.
I thought it was advisory. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, they play
Okay.
adversary role.
And did they do that in
They
this
do.
period?
They
During
do.
this particular issue, have they done...
Seriously,
Okay.
they try to reach out to the both parties, but one party is not giving room for that.
So, do you think that the Supreme Court judgment was as a result of the obvious interference by the FCT minister?
Yes.
Some people
how
have...
can
They don't-
FCT minister
they don't-
interfere in
You know,
Supreme
because
Court?
this-
We don't have respect for our constitution.
That's the truth now.
Because some
That's the
people have
truth.
fingered the genesis of this whole matter from the
hear you, Abigail.
interferences from the
I hear
minister.
But you
and-
see, I live in this country,
Yes.
and as a Nigerian, I want to be a patriotic Nigerian. I want to believe that our system, there's certain areas that we shouldn't even think that there's some kind of influence. And I mean, I'll be,
What's on
it'll
the
be wrong.
streets?
Yes,
Are you-
it
are
is
you-
wrong for me
Are you aware
to be
that?
very, very
Are you aware that
naive.
the issue of the National Assembly was not before the Supreme Court? Are you aware of that?
Issue of the National Assembly.
Issue of the
the
27 Assembly
27th
members
Assembly, yeah.
were not before the Supreme Court?
Because I have trouble. I'm not saying because
Are you getting me?
but I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it cannot happen.
That matter was not
Because
before
Nigeria we
them, but they
know.
dabbled into it.
The Nigeria we know in the past has held that we've had
That was
where
in the past.
justice, where justices and
No, so I'm not discrediting the Supreme Court. I'm saying these are what we hear. I'm from River State myself, and we've been hearing these names from the beginning, right? And he is here. He has been a player. So it's a question I'm throwing to him from the street.
Yeah. You think the Supreme Court was influenced, just as she said?
The Supreme Court was influenced by the FCT minister.
You're saying that categorically?
Yes.
Okay. And that's your perspective?
Yes. And that is the general perspective. It's not only me.
Interesting. Okay. I hear you, and I think that we, in the interest of the people of River State, I hope this is resolved. I have to let you go at this point. But is there any final words you'd like to say to our viewers, especially expressing your own personal views on this
Well,
matter?
just like we have talked here, anywhere I go to, anywhere I'm called, I'm going to tell my people to continue to remain peaceful, because that's the only atmosphere that development can strive. So every players should receive their sword and ensure that the common man enjoy the benefit of democracy.
Thank you very much. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you very
having
much.
you, Honorable
And
Lazarus.
you too. It's a pleasure.
Let's go on a very short break now. We come back, we'll bring in the woman we love. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.